Hello, it's Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our February the 28th lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. Lesson 59. We're reading from the original edition. The following ideas are for review today. And the 5 lessons that we'll be reviewing, just with one paragraph with each of them, lesson 41 through 45. 41 being God goes with me wherever I go. 42, God is my strength, the vision is His gift. 43, God is my source, I cannot see apart from Him. 44, God is the light in which I see. And 45, God is the mind with which I think. Now let's read the paragraphs and string them all together in our mind. God goes with me wherever I go. How can I be alone when God always goes with me? How can I be alone when God always goes with me? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in Him? How can I be disturbed by anything when He rests in me in absolute peace? How can I be disturbed by anything when God rests in me in absolute peace? How can I suffer when love and joy surround me through Him? Let me not cherish illusions about myself. Don't cherish an illusion where there's such a place as a God-forsaken place. There's not. I am perfect because God goes with me wherever I go. Now it answers that admonition in the Sermon on the Mount where Jesus said, "Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect." Well, how do we do that? By not worshiping idols, by not believing what's not true. God goes with me wherever I go. How can I be alone when God always goes with me? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in me? How can I be disturbed by anything when He rests in me in absolute peace? How can I suffer when love and joy surround me through Him? Let me not cherish illusions about myself. I am perfect because God goes with me wherever I go. I know I read that twice, but I really wanted it to sink in, okay? God is my strength. Vision is His gift. God is my strength. Vision is His gift. Let me not look to my own eyes to see today. Let me be willing to exchange my pitiful illusion of seeing for the vision that is given by God. The vision of Christ is what we want, of a forgiven world. A world where only joy exists, only love is present, no guilt. Christ's vision is His gift. Christ's vision is God's gift, or the Holy Spirit's gift, and He has given it to me. Let me call upon this gift today so that this day may help me to understand eternity. Let me call upon this gift today. What? The gift of Christ's vision. Call on it, and by doing so, may this day help me to understand eternity. We'll enter into the real world. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. I can see what God wants me to see. I cannot see anything else. Beyond His will is only what? Illusions. Beyond what God wills for me to see is only make-believe, only illusions. It is these I choose when I think I can see apart from Him. Who'd want to see apart from truth? See only illusions. It is these I choose when I try to see through the body's eyes. Yet the vision of Christ has been given me to replace them. It is through this vision that I choose to see. Wow, can we learn to see instead of with the body's eyes? Learn to see a presence that tells us what to do more sure than our own appearance of the world and what we see with the physical eyes. A deeper knowing. A deeper knowing that even the world and the eyes all bend to. Part of the holiness that we talked about yesterday. God is the light in which I see. I cannot see in darkness. God is the only light. Therefore, if I am to see, it must be through Him. I have tried to define what seeing is and have been wrong. We've been trying to define what seeing is by judgment. Now it is given me to understand that God is the light in which I see. I've resigned as my own teacher. I can now listen to the voice for truth. Let me welcome vision and the happy world it will show me. Let me welcome vision and the happy world it will show me. A world without guilt. Oh, such freedom and such joy and such beauty. And the last one today, God is the mind with which I think. I have no thoughts I do not share with God. I have no thoughts apart from Him because I have no mind apart from His. As part of His mind, my thoughts are His and His thoughts are mine. Talk about God goes with me wherever I go. God is the mind with which I think. I have no thoughts I do not share with God. I have no thoughts that I do not share with God. Remember, you're a thought of God and forever a thought of God. What God makes is for always and forever. I have no thoughts I do not share with God. I have no thoughts apart from Him because I have no mind apart from His. As part of His mind, my thoughts are His and His thoughts are mine. God is the mind with which I think. Okay, one last time, and then we're going to look at our text reading. God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength. Vision is His gift. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. God is the light in which I see. God is the mind with which I think. All right? Okay, now let's take a look back in our text reading, and we're ready to read the last section in chapter 13. It's section 9, the way of salvation. And as you're turning there, let me tell you about one more giant pumpkin. You know, I told you about those Big Maxes that I ordered some seeds for. I also ordered these Dills Atlantic Giant Pumpkin. These are called Dills Atlantic Giant Pumpkin. And I found these in the Gurney's catalog. I found it online, actually. And it says it'll bear 200 to 300 pound fruits, even without special treatment of the vines. Over a ton, 2,000 pound ones, with proper specific care, named after Howard Dill of Canada, who was a giant pumpkin breeder. These things grow in zones 3 through 9, and they're 120 day, but you know, you probably let them just keep on growing all until frost. Start them early, I think, to get those really, really big ones. Anyway, we've just been talking a little about different pumpkins. I found out that this is the variety that I wanted to get those other ones, thinking that might have been the variety. But I think these Dills Atlantic Giant are the ones that they generally use the seeds to get the really, really big ones. And, you know, my hope is that someday and that I'm able to grow something big enough to use for a house. You know, I understand that could be centuries away. But, you know, we just something we work towards. And who knows, might happen real quick. The way of salvation reminds me of the first principle of miracles. You know, there's no order of difficulty in miracles. And I like the way that the Honest to See and the Ringing Cedars talks about how that we're limitless, that there's always an answer to any question that a child of God may have. And the whole creation wants to serve us. That's the other beautiful thing that is really brought out strongly in those Ringing Cedar series. Honest to See is the first one, and there's like about 10 books by Vladimir McGree. Nice reading. When you accept a brother's guiltlessness, you will see the atonement in him. For by proclaiming it in him, you make it yours, and you will see what you sought. I was just looking for my glasses here. I'm talking about seeing. You will not see the symbol of your brother's guiltlessness shining within him while you still believe it is not there. We want to look for the evidence of our brother's guiltlessness, but we have to believe it's there. His guiltlessness is your atonement. That's your at-one-ment, your awakening, your salvation. Grant it to him. Grant your brother's guiltlessness to him, and you will see the truth of what you have acknowledged. Yet truth is offered first to be received, even as God gave it first to his Son. The first in time means nothing. Wow. The first in time means nothing. But the first in eternity is God the Father, who is both first and one. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Beyond the first there is no other, for there is no order, no second or third, and nothing but the first. When you're referring to God, there's the first and the always. You who belong to the first cause, created by Him like unto Himself, and part of Him, are more than merely guiltless. The state of guiltlessness is only the condition in which what is not there has been removed from the disordered mind that thought it was. Let's read that again. The state of guiltlessness is only the condition in which what is not there has been removed from the disordered mind that thought it was there. This state, and only this, must you attain with God beside you. For until you do, you will still think that you are separate from Him. You can feel His presence next to you, but cannot know that you are one with Him. This need not be taught. Learning applies only to the condition in which it happens of itself. So we're trying to set our condition right to where we see the guiltlessness in our brothers and sisters and in ourselves. Actually, you see it in them so you can see it in yourself, is what he's saying. And then it bleeds over to the condition that allows God to restore the real world and your awareness of your eternal state. God takes the final step Himself, he says a number of times, the state of grace. But we set the condition up by not, by practicing forgiveness, seeing guiltlessness in everyone. When you have let all that obscured the truth in your most holy mind be undone for you and stand in grace before your Father, He will give Himself to you as He has always done. Giving Himself is all He knows, and so it is all knowledge. Isn't that beautiful? God saying, giving Himself is all He knows, and so it is all knowledge. For what He knows not cannot be, and therefore cannot be given. Ask not to be forgiven, for this has already been accomplished. Ask rather to learn how to forgive and restore what always was to your unforgiving mind. Atonement becomes real and visible to them that use it. Wow, atonement becomes real and visible to them that use it. When you're looking for the guiltlessness in others, the way opens up to you and it becomes obvious that that's the only reality. On earth, this is your only function, and you must learn that it is all you want to learn. On the earth, your only function is to offer atonement, offer forgiveness, offer love. That's your only purpose, to be the light of the world. And what's he say here? Atonement becomes real and visible to them that use it. On earth, this is your only function, and you must learn that it is all you want to learn. You must learn that it is all you want to learn. 89. You will feel guilty till you learn this. Until you learn that only guiltlessness is what you're going to see, you're going to feel guilty. For in the end, whatever form it takes, your guilt arises from your failure to fulfill your function in God's mind with all of yours. What are you? He ground at the horses over there saying, you stay away from here. Can you escape this guilt by failing to fulfill your function here? You need not understand creation to do what must be done before that knowledge would be meaningful to you. God breaks no barriers, neither did He make them. God breaks no barriers, neither did He make barriers. When you release them, they are gone. God will not fail, nor ever has in anything. God will not fail, nor ever has in anything. Let's read that whole paragraph again. You will feel guilty till you learn this. What is it you're going to learn? That atonement becomes real and visible to them that use it. On earth, that is your only function, and you must learn that it is all you want to learn. You will feel guilty till you learn this. For in the end, whatever form it takes, your guilt arises from your failure to fulfill your function in God's mind with all of yours. Can you escape this guilt by failing to fulfill your function here? You need not understand creation to do what must be done before that knowledge would be meaningful to you. God breaks no barriers, neither did He make them. When you release them, they are gone. God will not fail, nor ever has in anything. Decide that God is right and you are wrong about yourself. Decide that God is right and you are wrong about yourself. He created you out of Himself, but still within Him. He knows what you are. Remember that there is no second to Him. There cannot, therefore, be anyone without His holiness, nor anyone unworthy of His perfect love. Fail not in your function of loving in a loveless place made out of darkness and deceit. Read that again. Fail not in your function of loving in a loveless place made out of darkness and deceit. For thus are darkness and deceit undone. Fail not yourself, but instead offer to God and you His blameless Son. For this small gift of appreciation for His love, God will Himself exchange your gift for His. For this small gift of appreciation for His love, God will Himself exchange your gift for His. 91. Before you make any decisions for yourself, remember that you have decided against your function in heaven, and consider carefully whether you want to make decisions here. Your function here is only to decide against deciding. Listen to that. Your function here is only to decide against deciding what you want in recognition that you do not know. Your function here is only to decide against deciding what you want in recognition that you do not know. How then can you decide what you should do? Leave all decisions to the one who speaks for God and for your function as He knows it. So will He teach you to remove the awful burden you have laid upon yourself by loving not the Son of God and trying to teach Him guilt instead of love. Whoa, we don't want to be teaching guilt instead of love because it takes all that joy away from us. Give up this frantic and insane attempt which cheats you of the joy of living with your God and Father and awakening gladly to His love and holiness, which join together as the truth in you, making you one with Him. Wow. And of course we see Him in everyone. And the last paragraph we'll read today, 92. When you have learned how to decide with God, all decisions become as easy and as right as breathing. When you have learned how to decide with God, all decisions become as right and easy as breathing. And, but our lessons are what help us to get to that place. And one of these days, you just kind of probably look around and we'll just say, well, I guess I'm just living normal life because I feel real happy all the time. They're in an easy, what's he say? I guess I'm just breathing. I guess this is just the way life is. When you have learned how to decide with God, all decisions become as easy and as right as breathing. There is no effort, and you will be led as gently as if you were being carried along a quiet path in summer. Only your own volition seems to make deciding hard. The Holy Spirit will not delay at all in answering your every question what to do. He knows, and He will tell you and then do it for you. You who have tired might consider whether this is more restful than sleep, for you can bring your guilt into sleeping, but not into this. Oh, just so much there. Go back and read that last paragraph. Read the whole section again, actually. Anyway, not that you have to, but anything I say is just made way of a suggestion. All right, one last time in our workbook today. Keep these ideas with you today. God goes with me wherever I go, and thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength. Vision is His gift. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. God is the light in which I see. God is the mind with which I think. Thank you.